What I'd like to cover on this session is the whole area of implementation. What we're finding is a number of the things that we need to do, we just simply don't get around to doing for a number of reasons. And some of you may remember a wonderful presentation at our annual conference from Jeff Paolo, one of our guests from America. And he put together an excellent presentation entitled The 4 Disciplines of Flawless Execution. And of course, being American, we use the superlative, so I'll just tone it down and use adjectives instead. And so we'll call it the 4 disciplines of getting things done. What I'll also do is I will then flip the coin over and we'll look at the 6 root causes of failure to implement, i.e. FTI. And what I'm finding is that when firms try and put the 4 disciplines in place, pretty well everything that they want to get done actually happens. And similarly, if they're finding that there's difficulties in getting things done, then they try and look at the 6 root causes of not getting things done, and maybe you'll strike gold that way. So let's look at the 4 disciplines of implementation. The first one is that the goals of whatever it is you need to be done needs to be made absolutely clear. In other words, people need to understand why do they need to change. If there's no reason to change, then clearly they won't. So let's make sure that the reason for changing is being laid out very clearly. Having done that, then keeping some sort of score would be the next thing, the next discipline that we need to put into place. So people that are being asked to do certain things are constantly being fed back how they're doing and what sort of scorecarding are in place. So for example, getting people to record their time properly, the goals would be quite clear in that if everyone recorded their time, the turnover would typically go up and therefore would become more profitable. The scorecarding in this example would be the chargeable time, maybe using the e-flash report that is on the member's CD that comes out daily or weekly, so people have an idea on how they are doing with their chargeable time. So that's the second thing. The third discipline of execution is specific actions that need to be taken. In the case of chargeable time, it would be filling out the timesheet, which is a relatively easy thing. And if people aren't specific enough with what needs to be done, that's often a reason why things don't get done. So let's make sure that we make it nice and easy for everybody. And the fourth one is accountability. If people are not being held accountable, that is one of the reasons why things don't get done. And similarly, if we are in an environment where people are being held accountable, either they are being rewarded and or they are being penalized, then the accountability is one of those 4 disciplines that gets things into place. Within a lot of accounting firms, it's the 4th area at the partnership level that we fail. In other words, a number of partners in a number of firms are simply not accountable to their partners for doing things. And therefore, that would be the 4th discipline of getting things done. So hopefully that all makes sense. They're the 4 disciplines. Just write that up there, the 4 disciplines of execution. Now, if you don't see it so clearly that way, why don't we flip over the same coin and look at it from the other side up, which is the 6 root causes of FTI, failure to implement. The first root cause is that the goals are not clear. People don't understand why to change, and so we must obviously make that more clear, understand the reason for change. Second item is specific actions. People need to know exactly what they need to do, and the experts will tell us that if you have the first and the second, you will then get a large way down the line of the third, which is commitment. If people are not committed to the cause, then that will be a reason why it fails. The fourth item is synergy. The items, the things that need to be done, need to be synergetic to the rest of the business. I came across a wonderful example the other day with a partnership. We were talking about work in progress and monthly billing, and we agreed after some considerable debate that we would introduce monthly billing, which was great. The next item on the agenda was the overdraft renewal, and the managing partner, I recall vividly, said, "Oh, well, I'll just go down and get the overdraft renewed." And at that point it dawned on me and others that now we were talking about two opposite actions. One was introducing monthly billing where you wouldn't need the overdraft, but if they didn't do the monthly billing, then they already had the overdraft in place, and so therefore this was not synergetic. And I was pleased to say, once we raised that, we agreed that we would not renew the overdraft, and thereby forcing people's hands. The fifth one, in terms of the root causes, is enabling. If you are not enabled to do something, then that'll be a reason why you don't. And the most common one is that we just do not have enough time. We are far too busy to do that particular job because clients come first, all sorts of other priorities. And so we must look at how do we create time to enable people to do other things. Sorts of issues that are arising from that, all efficiency issues, is going paperless and 2 screens. That certainly helps efficiencies. Outsourcing to India. And one of my favorite things to do is to go on Do Not Disturb, DND, for your phones and for your emails and for people coming up to your desk, so just general contact within the office. Why don't you put yourself onto DND for 1 hour twice a day and give yourself some real good quality time to get through your to-do list and thereby create time to do some more issues that are needed to be done. The 6th of the root causes is, of course, accountability. We really must hold people accountable for their actions, and that of course includes partnerships. And that's one of the reasons why we have more recently seen what we call meritocracy being introduced in profit-sharing arrangements so that partners are indeed being held accountable. My favorite idea there was taken with a firm that do staff appraisals and the actions arising from staff appraisals. There was a bonus pool allocated for getting things done. And what they said was, you don't get half of your bonus if you do not implement what you have got on your to-do list in the staff appraisals. And of course the firm now finds that almost everybody does what they said they would do when they are appraised, which of course has been most helpful as the appraisal system is very much synergetic to the overall strategic goals of the business. So there we are. There's the 4 disciplines and the 6 root causes of FTI. I hope you found them helpful, and obviously give us a call if you would like any help with any of those issues.